healthier, have less stress, feel calm. And you want these things, but it's challenging to actually go and achieve them. And why is that? It's because you're lacking one key piece, but actually two pieces. You're lacking the energy to get you from where you are today to where you want to be, but you're also lacking the self discipline, which is hard. Self discipline is such a challenging thing, especially when at the very end of the day, like now, you're tired, you're exhausted. You don't want to get up and go and exercise and go and cook this nice wholesome meal and then have to clean the kitchen. And so this exhaustion and this overwhelm, and by the time you get to the end of your day, you're not wanting to make those changes that you know in your mind and even in your heart you need to be making, but you're just not doing it. So today for Mindset Monday, I'm Dr. Lexi Lane, and I'm a naturopathic doctor, but I'm also wanting to help you and coach you and mentor you through life changes that stick. Because so much of my practice has been about nutrition and exercise and running all these fancy tests. And when I'm working with people and I put together this wonderful care plan, the thing is that they'll go and they'll do, but then there comes a moment in time where they stop doing and they go back to old ways, or they don't even get started because they're too overwhelmed and stressed that it's just too much to even wrap their heads around. So if I really want to help people, I'm realizing that I've got to dive into why people aren't changing and what are those obstacles. So for today, I'm actually going to take this wonderful, wonderful large book that many of you may know. And this is going to be Mark chapter 4. There is a parable, a story in here about a farmer, and the farmer is sowing seeds. And as a naturopathic doctor, I love anything to do with seeds and planting. And it's spring, so we're all about seeing those bulbs pop up. So I just thought this was a really perfect story, and there's so much in there to help us to overcome those obstacles and challenges that we're constantly facing. So here's the parable in a really quick and dirty. And it is that the farmer is planting these seeds, okay? And you're throwing seeds out. Now these seeds are going to represent what you want. You want more energy. You want to lose weight. You want to have more money, more time. You want to feel calm and in inner peace. You want to calm your stress. So these seeds are your desires, okay? Now in the Bible, it's all about faith. But as a clinician, I'm here to talk to you about that burning desire. And those seeds, you plant them. And as you're planting them, they're going to land on different things. They're going to land on a rock. They're going to land on some concrete and going to land, on a thorn. I've got a rose bush that's growing and there's thorns on there. And then the seeds are going to land in fertile soil. So here's what's really cool about this parable is that it goes on to talk about what these different places your seeds are landing on. So your desires, where are they going? And so if it's landing on the thorns, well, the thorns are going to push out those seeds. And what that is that's your worry. That's your self-doubt. That's the fear. I don't know if I can cut out sugar completely, or I'm just not sure if I'm gonna be able to have time to exercise, or there's all the what ifs and the excuses and all the things that you face and you get challenged with. Those are the thorns. And then if the excuse my voice, speaking of allergies, right? But if the seeds they land on concrete, well, the birds are going to come and they're going to eat the seeds. Well, what's that? That's all the distractions. That's all the things to try to keep you away from those goals that you really want. Well, what are some distractions? Social media. So thank you for being on social media right now, but it can be a distraction. What you're putting on your time schedule. So maybe you're over scheduling your family and yourself, and that's taking you away from what you really want. What are your distractions? So seeds that are landing on the concrete and the birds are eating, those are going to be things like distractions. And then here's the shiny squirrel syndrome, where you see this really cool fad diet and you want to go and you want to go do. And you go and you do and you're all in, and then something happens, stress happens, life happens, and it slaps you back into that old way of being. Those seeds, they're landing on shallow soil. And so in the shallow soil, the roots are not getting very deep. So what's happening there is that you're not fully engaged in this new change, and it's not becoming a part of you. And if it's not becoming a part of you, then when stress happens, like in this parable where the sun, the heat of the day, and these plants, they don't grow because the sun is too hot. So with these shallow roots, it's how deep and how much of a desire are you really wanting to make with these changes? What are you willing to truly let go of? What are you really trying to commit to that will make you make a change that you really want? So then, of course, then the seeds, they land in fertile soil. And then the fertile soil, naturally, I'm thinking, well, all right, if we're going to get to causation here and we're really going to get to the root of why people aren't changing, we need to land our seeds and our burning desires on fertile soil. So how do we do that? So here's 3 key things that you can be doing to fertilize and have really good soil that if you want to lose weight, if you want to have more energy, if you want to have calmer stress, you want to have happiness, these are the things that you need to do. Number 1, your soil needs nutrients. It needs fuel. Okay, yes, that's nutrition. That's true. So your burning desires, they do need fuel. Now, nutrition is a key piece to this, but what about fueling the goal itself? So if you read books like Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, he talks about when you set a goal, you have to see that goal every single day. You write it down and you put it on a mirror and you're reading it every single day. That is fuel. You're energizing that goal, what you really want, so that you're staying on track. You're being reminded of what it is that you're trying to do, because you need reminding, because life is full of distractions. We know this. So we need to be reminded of that. So the fuel is, yes, nutrition and feeding our bodies. That's absolutely a key piece to having more energy. And then that self-discipline piece is seeing that goal of, I want to feel good. I want to feel good. You want to feel good. And when you say that every single day, what begins to happen is that your actions, they start to change. And when your actions start to change, then that's where the results start to happen. Okay, so then number two is all about protection. We got to protect the soil. So I'm growing these little seedlings, and there's a little cap on top of the seeds, and there's this little thing to hold them up as they're growing because they're still kind of weak. And so when we think about our goals and protection, it takes a while to learn a new habit and to grow into something new, right? So how do you protect that? Well, you can protect that by paying attention to what you're watching, who you're hanging around. Do the people you hang around, do they have the same values and goals that you do? Maybe we spend less time with them and start putting yourself into positions and places that are going to support and protect that goal, especially when it's new and you're trying to adapt a new healthy habit. You need to have people around you who are going to support you and grow you. And then the final piece is to test it. Now, as a naturopathic doctor, yes, we love to test. Test, don't guess. Testing really does help us to fine tune. Let's just say it is energy. What's contributing to your fatigue? Maybe there is a hormonal imbalance. Maybe there is a micronutrient deficiency. Maybe there's some gut imbalances and things like that. So we can test your body to help us to laser in and align with those goals that you want. But test is also about stress. Now, here's the thing. I'm all about calming stress, and I'm all about, how do we manage that stress? It's not about having a stress-free life. That's impossible. We want a little bit of stress. As an endurance athlete, I stress my body all the time because I'm trying to get faster. I'm trying to get stronger. That's just it. You need to get stronger and more resilient. So when it talks in the scripture where, there's all these tests and storms and things and people's faith are being tested, well, your goals get tested too. And life will test you. And it's going to test you to see how bad do you really want this? And how deep are those roots growing? Are you really adopting a new habit? Or is it just the shiny little squirrel or the shiny object syndrome where you're just trying something new? And then that's a distraction. Also, what you're scheduling on your calendar can be part of the stress piece, but it could be pushing you over the edge. So there's a blurred line with the stress on. Is it serving you? And is it building your strength? And is it building you to the goals that you want? or is it becoming a distraction? So with stress, it's about assessing that stress. Is it serving you or not? So that is the parable of the farmer and the seeds. And I hope this was really, really helpful. This was a message that's been sitting on my heart. And I'm like, I really want to get this out. So thank you for sticking all the way through to the end. April 2nd, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am going to be doing a rejuvenate and strategies to calm stress and to energize you. That'll be an online workshop that's free. So I will be putting links and promoting that. So April 2nd, save that date. And yeah, stay tuned. And this is hashtag Mindset Monday. I am Dr. Lexi Lane, and thank you very much. And this is how you get your spark back. Have a good night.